So, Jay, thanks for taking time.
Hell yeah.
Welcome.
It's good to be here.
You just went off stage. It's been like 30 minutes or so, I guess.
Yeah, had to unravel. It's a little wet outside, but I held my own.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool.
How's the show been? I mean, it's raining so much the whole day. So, what were your expectations?
For today,
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, like I didn't know what to expect when we pulled up. I was like, this is kind of like the stage is so far from everything else, and I was like, are people really gonna come fuck with us? But like, dude, when I stepped on stage, everybody was there,
Yeah.
and I was like, yo, like this is cool. And then we started playing, people started yelling our lyrics and stuff too. I was like, oh shit, people actually fuck with us out here.
Mm.
It's a good feeling because like we did a tour back in February, and like it was like the crowd would not move, they wouldn't engage with us whatsoever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, they would engage after the songs and stuff, but like today was like it felt perfect. It was like real time. Everybody was like, "Oh, I'm like circle pit, everyone circle pit." And
Mm.
I'm like, "Everybody mosh, everybody mosh." I'm like, "If you know lyrics, sing it." Everyone was singing. I'm like, "Dude, this is the best experience that I've had." And it's like our first festival on this run.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Stoked on this.
There was a. Did you see the unicorn thing in the mosh pit?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna just talk some shit about that because I at the end of our set I was like chilling and I was like, yeah, looking at the crowd, and then the unicorn comes up and they hit me with it.
Oh,
and
no.
my whole shirt pants just get covered in mud,
Oh, shit.
and I'm just looking. I'm like, come on, bro, like
Ah.
and like I know he probably didn't mean to do it, but I'm just like, yo, like be a little aware of the surroundings because like I'm wearing all black.
Mm.
If people see me walking around, covered in mud, I think I got a good amount of it off, but that shit sucked.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially being wet too.
Yeah. I saw the guys in El Chelsea Grin enjoying your set.
Yeah.
Do you have any connections to them?
Yeah, so Tom and I are cool. The same with like Steven and the rest of the guys. But Tom and I did a song together with this other band, Darko.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we just been kicking it. Every time he comes to my town, I kick it with him. Anytime we're in the same city on tour, like, we'll link up. But, this was just crazy because it was like looking over to the side and it's just Tom's just big smile. He was
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm having the best time. And I'm like, I love seeing Tom because he's always just full of life. It's just really nice to be able to see friends from back home over here.
Yeah, nice. You also played a few of the new stuff.
Yeah.
And there will be an album coming out.
Yeah.
Can you tell us something about that? It's called Ferality, right?
Yeah, it's called Ferality. It's like I try to be a little more, I guess, open about the way that I've been feeling as of like lately and stuff. And it's like kind of like on a point to where it's like you feel like you have little to nothing, or you feel like you're constantly at war with yourself. Like I feel a lot of like mental strain a lot nowadays, and it's like with the band growing and like with real life stuff and like trying to just maintain everything while doing like worldwide touring and
Yeah.
stuff. We're not used to this. We didn't expect this to be like this, but I'm trying to handle it the best I can. So with that album, I'm like, this is kind of like me just writing off a little more of the emotions and trying to not like heal myself, but like pretty much just release some stress. Because I feel like whenever I talk about this stuff with people, they kind of want to give an explanation or like some kind of solution. When I'm like, realistically, I just want to scream at the top of my lungs.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need that release.
Mm.
And that's kind of what Ferality was about. It was like, you want to talk to people about it, but they don't understand you.
Yeah.
Nor will they like care as much to like kind of like fully hear you out and stuff. And it's like, fine, I'd rather just go into a big room or like some woods or something like that and just scream at the top of my lungs, and then I come back and I'm like, I'm cool. But Ferality is like nice because every song has like a different kind of like struggle that I like talk about. And I know I've been doing that for years, but I'm older now. I'm in my 30s, so I have to kind of like learn how to adjust to adulthood with that. And I think there was a cathartic thing with Ferality, so I'm hoping that everyone, whenever they hear it, they understand the struggle and the pain and stuff.
Yeah.
And they can kind of like resolve, or at least if they're going to resonate with it, hopefully they feel better afterwards, instead of just feeling like that's the end all be all. It's just negativity, like just always feeling like, oh, I should just do this to myself, or, you know, like, it's crazy because we're always so quick to point the finger at the world, or like, you know, say fuck the world and stuff like that. But we have to like battle our inner selves in order to like get over things, because no one's going to be able to handle these issues other than ourselves, because they were created within ourselves.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Musically, I think it's pretty diverse
Yes.
record, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I took some notes because there's so much going on.
Uh-huh.
I think there's some gloomy new metal like stuff,
Yeah.
like in Burnout.
Yeah.
There's some industrial stuff in Diamond Dice,
Yeah.
and there's even that electronic track, Masticate, right?
Oh yeah,
What's up with that one?
That one's not on the record.
It's not on the record.
We took 2 songs out.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have 2 extra songs, and I don't know if I should say it, but I don't really care. It's Playing Favors and Masticate. We just took them out for now because like the label, they kind of wanted, they were like, yeah, every song is great, but the thing is, it's almost like an overload. So we're gonna kind of figure out how to put those songs out in, you know, a few months after the album comes out, to kind of keep everyone interested in the whole Ferality cycle.
Yeah. But what are your musical influences here? I mean, it's like here and there and anything in between, right?
Yeah, my influences stretch from like, you know, the 90s with like 9 Inch Nails, Death Row, like Dr. Dre and stuff like that. I've been, you know, kind of on that ever since the beginning. And like, you know, Tupac and stuff like that. It's just like being very realistic about like what society does and how it affects someone like us, you know? And it's like I keep going. You go to like, you know, Linkin Park, you know, influence, Korn influence. You know, I listen to all these bands growing up and everything. So like, as a person who can write the record of their dreams, or like the record that they've been thinking of for years and stuff, I really just try to channel every single thing that I really like from music that has like made me the person that I've come to be. So like, we'll go from like the 90s and stuff like that, and then you have like stuff in the 2010s where it was just like really cool bands and stuff. I wouldn't really name specifically bands in the 2010s that really had a big influence on Unity. I could say My Ticket Home definitely was like kind of the band that opened the door for me to be able to do Unity. But it's like the influence isn't as strong as it used to be. Now I'm just kind of writing off of like my personality, the blend of everything that I listen to. You know, I listen to a lot of electronic music, a lot of hip hop music, a lot of indie, a lot of pop music and stuff.
Cool.
And it's like, I want Unity to be more than just this hardcore band or this rap new metal band or something like that. Like, I want us to be able to be a band that like everyone in all different genres can like really enjoy and be like, oh, this is more than just, you know, people always see it, they're like, oh, this black guy's just rapping and saying this stuff and saying that word and stuff like that, you know, like, it's cool, but I want to be more than that. I want people to listen to it and be like, oh, there's diversity on here. You know, the electronic songs like Diamond Dies, I wanted to really open the door to the other stuff that I do outside of the band, because I like to do a lot of electronic stuff. And, you know, I have friends who really like that type of stuff. They're like, yo, you're really good at that. Like, you should like lean more into it. So it's like, it's cool to hear from people that I've like never met before, like you guys, that you really like that song and stuff. So to me, it's like very like relieving, to say at the least, before it even, you know, comes out.
Yeah. Speaking of diversity, what I noticed from this lineup at Full Force is that you really see a lot of POC people here. Like in Zulu, Loaf, they had to cancel, but they actually were booked here. Nova Twins. Are you seeing that there are more people of color coming to through the heavy music?
Yeah, it's definitely like since I first started, man, like, I really just wanted to open that door, because it was like, I started Unity at the end of or beginning of 2014, but I started writing it at the end of 2013. So it was like before then, it was like I would go to shows and people would, you know, kind of be snobby or they look at me like I was like different. I'm like, bro, I'm moshing, I'm supporting these bands.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll be engaging with the crowd, with the people and stuff. But it was like I never felt welcome. So when I started Unity, it was like at the beginning of it, I was like, I want to change the game. I want to be able to open the door to where I see more people like me, more young kids being influenced off of the stuff that we're doing in this. So that way, whenever I'm on my way out, there's a whole entire force of like new age, you know, music that's inspired or like that's by people of color, that's inspired by the life that they live and the struggles that they face, because that's what we need in heavy music. We have so many bands that'll pull off gimmicks and like, you know, so many bands that'll be like, oh yeah, I hate my life, here's a noose. And I'm like, it's so fucking stupid, man. Like there's no substance in it. And that's how it's been for the longest. But I'm like with Unity and stuff, like I'm just getting things off of my chest. Like it's almost like martyrdom. You know, at the end of the day, I feel like no one really gives a fuck about this. They think the idea is cool, but it's too realistic and raunchy for them to accept because it's how we actually live and how we actually perceive life and stuff.
Yeah.
And with all these new bands like Nova Twins saying what they say, with Zulu saying what they say, you know, and Loath, like that band is just
insane.
Yeah. But it's
so
like
good.
This is what happens when you let, you know, everyone be involved.
Yeah.
And we just want everyone to be involved. Unfortunately, right now, we're doing this for our people because we need to be able to feel like there can be a resurgence of heavy music. That way people feel more involved. That way people are more like communal when it comes to everything. Like everyone who likes Unity all fuck with each other. No one like beefs with each other. No one thinks that they're better than one another. We're all very grounded, level-headed because most of us don't come from shit, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like I've come from absolutely nothing, you know, and there are people who have everything in their life, you know, not like handed to them, but like it's a little easier for them to get their stuff. But I'm like, bro, I had to work from the grit. Like we're on year 10 and I see bands that like have existed for less than 5 years who are like, you know, getting put on bills higher than us, who are getting, you know, these offers for these tours and stuff like that. And it's like, that's cool. I'm happy for them, but also at the same time, I'm unhappy that as much truth as I have put into this since the beginning always gets ignored by people because they don't like the realistic or like the reality of what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like I've come from living, like I was born in Michigan, and like living in Michigan, it was not easy. It was like crime and all this stuff. Like, you know, we always had to deal with shit like, you know, oh, we hear gunshots, get on the ground, you know, and stuff like that. And it sucks, man. Like, because when you see life like that and then you grow up, you don't know what direction you're going to go. Like, you could join a gang. Like, whenever I was younger, I had friends who were trying to get me joined into a gang in like my neighborhood because they were like, yo, like, what's up? You know, I was always getting into fights and stuff, and I was like, bro, like, I'm sick of this. So I picked up a skateboard, and they kind of disowned me because they were like, oh, like, you're on that white boy shit. And I'm like, no, bro, I'm actually just trying to find a different way to live, to, like, enjoy myself, to try to, like, validate the way that I feel inside instead of ignoring it and then going through my whole entire life misunderstood and mad at the world or, like, you know, feeling like I don't have a place. It's just like you have to go look for that.
Yeah.
And I think what I've done with Unity is put all of that on the table for everyone to look at, and people are digesting it. Now we're seeing more people who are like, wow, this is a story. This is real. This is something that actually hits me deep, instead of just hearing like, fuck you, blah, 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 you're a piece of shit, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, it's stupid, man. Like, I just feel like at the end of the day, if you're not saying anything that has, like, you know, substance or whatever, then don't bring it near me. Unless it's funny. You know, like, some people can be funny. It's how you, like, bring your art out there. But me, I'm just, like, I feel like Batman, where I'm just, like, in a dark, gloomy room, and I'm just, like, you know, like, that's how it's been ever since I started. I just write music in my room, and it's so dark and gloomy, and, yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, of course.
And I wish you all the best for the record release, of course, and for everything that's coming after that.
Of course.
So take care, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.